Nature provides all the food we eat, the water we drink, and the oxygen we breathe. It gives us life. It is beautiful, but it is also fragile. I was reminded of this in July when I went into space with Blue Origin. I was told that seeing the Earth from space changes the lens through which you view the world. But I was not prepared for just how much that would be true. Looking back at Earth from up there, the atmosphere seems so thin.
As you might imagine, this uses tons of fuel, so much so that over 95% of the mass of most rockets is just fuel. What does burning that much fuel mean for something like global warming? It's roughly 365 tons of carbon per launch, so one rocket launch is the equivalent of nearly 294 cars on the road for a year.
You may have heard of carbon footprint. It basically means how much carbon an individual emits per year. But by reducing your own carbon footprint, you will only save the world from 1 second of less global warming. Individual carbon footprint is a minuscule measure of emission. Despite that, carbon footprint is a very popular term and used to point fingers at people who endorses overconsumption. Carbon footprint is even more well known than the term corporate footprint.
The world so finite and so fragile. Now, in this critical year, and what we all know is the decisive decade, we must all stand together to protect our world.
And yet, Jeff Bezos obviously has made that $10 billion commitment, but these Amazon cardboard boxes, the blue and white envelopes, I hear even worse, the trucks for delivery. I mean, shouldn't a company as innovative as Amazon be able to figure that out?
Well, you can't put every societal problem on Amazon. They are part of the physical economy delivering goods. So of course their scope 3 emissions are large. So there's Amazon as a company that's committed to electric delivery vehicles and funding innovation. And then there's Jeff as an individual, where that 10 billion is even more than I've spent. I've spent a few billion, and I'll spend a few billion more in the years ahead. So, in both cases, I think you'll see thoughtful ways of spending the money. But this requires, all of society to get engaged. It's not, just one intervention or one, company that can fix this.
Big corporations emits more carbon, sells poor quality products to promote overconsumption, and uses non-renewable energy. Instead of taking accountability, they popularize the term carbon footprint to shift the blame completely on people. By putting people at the center of carbon emissions responsibility, big corporation gets to escape their major share of carbon emission, or corporate footprint.